There's a fish. Good God. Flipping outside grass. We're here at Margarita, Punchin, Froggin. I think it's gonna be a good day. Eco Pro Tungsten, Black Blue Paycheck Punch Skirt. It's one of my favorite ways to fish here locally. We're gonna have fun today. As you can tell, we're grass fishing. You know, I mean, this time of year, it's middle of summer, the water temps in the low 80s. You know, it's always best this time of year when you're, especially when you're grass fishing with a frog or any kind of topwater bait. The higher the sun gets, the better the bite is generally. You know, I always have a punching rod right next to me in case one blows up on the frog and misses it, but this can be one of the best ways to fish and one of the worst ways to fish, because you're going to have bites that you want back. You know, but a lot of times you can go back to those fish a couple hours later and get them to bite again. And, you know, it seems to be that if you know where they're at, you can irritate them enough to get them to bite. You know, like I said, the frog it's hard to beat. You know, you have to experiment with colors, whites, blacks, browns, really see which ones they want. This here is that willow leaf grass is what I call it. When you're fishing mats, I think a darker bait overall is your best bet, just because you know, it's a full canopy, so they're just looking at the silhouette. When you're fishing stuff like this, there's little open holes and they can kind of see through the grass, so sometimes color's a real key thing. So you just got to keep experimenting. And you know, when I just frogged this and it looks so right, what we got here is there's a little channel that swings in right here, and my boat's in like 18 feet of water and I'm flipping 5 feet. So it's a real good transition spot for those fish to roll up into, hang out, feed, and then move back out if they want. So, you know, frogs, punching, topwater baits, middle of summer. If you got grass, you're going to catch them. Oh, God. That was a big one. Got him. Finally a frogfish. Not the biggest fish, but it is fun. Frog. Like it. It's a little one. Catch a bigger one here in a second. There's one. Marked him. Right on the bank. Frog. Frog. Throwing frogs right up on the bank in the weeds. Got one. You know, one of the things in frog fishing, what I've been doing today, is very important to have the right kind of rod, the line, the setup, the whole deal is very important. I'll let that one go. What I'm using here is a Powell 735. It's actually the frog rod that Tackle Warehouse has. And you know, anytime you're throwing frogs and weeds or whatever, you better be throwing braided line. I use spider wire ultra cast. Sometimes I'll throw 50 in real sparse stuff. This here is 65. Casts really, really good. This rod is very important though. It's 7'3". It's 5 power. The reason I like it is because of the tip. It has a real soft tip. I mean, it's real quick, but it's soft enough to make accurate casts. In other words, if you miss a fish, you can get right back in there on them. I like throwing these Revos Premiers. This here is a 7-to-1. The reason I like that is because when I get a fish, I want to get him in the boat as quick as possible, because the more time he spends out here in the grass, the more likely you are to lose it. This here is a Copper's frog. I've also been throwing a snag-proof frog, and one of my sponsors, Jackal's, got a new frog coming out. I don't have him yet. But from everything I've heard, it's going to be the deal. You know, the inventors of Jackal are really, really meticulous as far as how they create baits. So anxious to get them and try them, but have the right setup and go frog fishing. Here's one.